Hey guys, it's Erin or Gimme Yarn 418 and I'm back with another video. This is Thank God It's Finished or TGIF. This is my third, fourth, fifth time recording this. I'm having a bit of difficulty with my normal way that I record, so I'm recording with a different software. My video editing software seems to be eating my videos and I don't know what's happening to it, so we're going to try it this way. It's been about 2 weeks since I've sat down and talked to you about knitting and crafts in general and life, so I thought I would do that. First thing, we got our RV back last week. You may or may not know that we had a fairly significant wreck with the RV in the fall shortly after we got back. I'll put some pictures in here. And that required a substantial amount of bodywork to be done to the RV, and then we needed some general maintenance done to the RV, and we finally got it back last week. Thankfully, with the RV being gone from fall until now, it gave us the opportunity to do all the tweaks to our driveway that we wanted to do. The main thing was that we live on a very narrow dirt road, and we have a long, uphill, curvy driveway up to the main pad of our driveway. So we built a turnaround at the bottom of the driveway and a special parking space for the RV at the top, and it works so well. We got the RV up the first time. It took a while to get up, but it went smoothly. We just went slow and made sure we were just being careful. I mean, we don't want to wreck like we did last year. I should say I do not drive it. If I drove it, it would probably end up in a ditch or around a tree because it's enormous. It's 41.5 feet long. We have a 2005 Dutch Star. If anyone is interested in seeing the RV, the inside of the RV, having a little tour, let me know. The RV does need to go back to the shop next week. One of the things we had fixed needs a little bit more of a tweak, but I can record a video between now and then and share that with you. I'm not sure we're going to be traveling this year. It still is to be seen. It all depends on what happens at the repair shop and how in-depth what needs to be fixed and how long it takes. But if you want to see that, leave that in the comments down below. I'd be happy to show that for you. Film that for you. What else is going on? I've been doing a lot of canning. Last week I canned a half bushel of pickles. I canned 7 pints of applesauce, which is like 25 pounds of apples. It's a lot of pounds. It's probably not 25 pounds. They're probably only 2 or 3 pound bags. So a lot of apples, a lot of peeling. It was 5 bags of apples. What else did I can? Oh, I made jam. And I think that's all I canned. But it was something like 38, 40 cans. And I will be doing it again at the end of the summer and then again in the fall, just to have what we want to get through the rest of the year. What's going on with Dewey and Max? Dewey and Max are doing great. They are both headed down for appointments at Angel Memorial in Boston at the end of the month. Dewey needs to have a consult with a cardiologist. It's supposed to be an hour appointment, and Max needs to have his intake appointment for neurology so that we are completely done with that other hospital and all the care will be given at Angel. Once care is established, we will be doing it mostly remotely, managed through our local veterinarian, and then, yearly appointments as needed down in Boston, maybe 6 months. It depends on what the doctors decide. So we are going to go down. We're going to leave here at 4 in the morning. The appointment's at 9. The appointments are supposed to be an hour long. Barring anything major happening, we'll probably be back on the road by noon. After the appointments, we'll, need to take the dogs, walk them around, stuff like that before we hit the road again. The other thing that is happening is my shawl that I designed. It's a crescent shaped shawl that has yet to be named. Will be coming out next Wednesday, July 15th. It is a one skein shawl, and I don't wear shawls well. It's fun to knit. It's easy enough for a beginner, but interesting enough to keep your attention if you're more than a beginner, and I really do love it. So I'm going to ask all of you, I haven't named this yet. I'm kind of stumped as to what to name it. So I would love to hear, if you were to name this, what would you name it? I'm not going to name it after any of the dogs, and I'm not going to name it after either of my nieces or the nieces on Kristen's side either. There's a reason for that. Well, for the dogs there is anyway, which we'll be seeing later on this summer. But if you leave your suggestion down below, everyone who leaves a suggestion, I will go through them, and randomly, through the random number generator, random comment generator, I will choose one person and who's made a suggestion, and I will gift them this shawl when it is released on Ravelry. So if you're not on Ravelry, I'll still send it to you. We'll work out how to do that. So yeah, please leave your suggestion below. Just make sure that you use the word shawl in there somewhere so that I can use the random comment picker. That's really all that has been going on, other than lots of crafting. So let's jump right into what I have been working on. What do I generally do first? Whips or faux? Faux. So the first thing I finished were the Arnie and Carlos socks that you saw last time. This is Regia, Arnie and Carlos. Dewey's next to me woofing, I'm sorry. Moon Night, and I don't think I have the tag anymore. I did the first few times I recorded this. These are for a friend of ours for Christmas, and they were a quick knit, super quick, and I love them. Oh, here's the ball band right here. The color is 3656 if you're interested, and this came out 3 years ago, maybe 4. Trying to craft from that stash. Next, I finished a pair of socks out of ice yarn, and this was given to me by Maureen, Simply More Crafts. I think that's what I think it's Simply More, but I don't know. I could be wrong. Maureen. Everybody knows Maureen. So she sent me this. There's no colorway. It's just called Super Sock. And this pair of socks is for the same friend for Christmas. I'm knitting her 6 pair of socks because she is very knit-worthy. Now, this pink here is not nearly as fluorescent as it's coming across in my screen. So I don't know. It's definitely much more muted than that, but the other colors are fairly accurate. We had Auntie Craft Camp last week, and Kristen joined us, and we made these little hanging Pegasus unicorns, and this was mine. Not only did Kristen join us, but Mama joined us, so I'm going to put up a picture after I show this of everybody's. And this was Kristen's unicorn. She knows Sadie likes bling, so she blinged it up. She did only paint one side. Joey, you're not being very nice. We all had a good time, and as you can see here, everybody was very different in how they painted theirs. But one thing was for sure, everyone loved the gems. Okay, so the shadow box that I showed you in my Michael's haul, I have since painted it. I have washed the arm of the sofa. Kristen, when we moved, had to donate her grandmother's sofa, and she and her grandmother had a very special relationship, and I said that I would do something to honor that wouldn't entail keeping this really big sofa that we didn't have space for. And I like how it came out. I don't know if she knew exactly what she was getting into, but anyway, this is it. This is Grammy Barth, and this is Kristen, and this is the sofa. And this here was the arm cover from the sofa. I took it, I washed it, put it on some little foam board. I painted this shadow box with Waverly chalk paint in the color Ocean, and I think it came out really great. Kristen picked the color to go with the stripe in here, which I guess at the time, 40 years ago, was called Colonial Blue. So there it is. Kristen was so young. The next is whips. I don't have any more FOs. I only have one. Can you stop, please? I only have one active whip, and it is knit out of Fifth Avenue Socksation. And this was given to me a few years ago by Jen, Crafty Jen on Instagram, and I love this stuff. She gave me a couple colorways, and this is the last one. I've been holding on to it for a while. The colorway is Rose, and here it is, and I've just barely turned the heel, and this too will be for our friend who I'm knitting the socks for. I love the colors on this, and this stuff washes awesome. I don't know where she got it, but it's great. If you ever come across it, you should definitely consider checking it out. And I'm going to reach. As Kristen was walking out the door today, she said, "Show my project." So, Kristen, I showed you in my Michael's haul that I bought this yarn for her. This is Bernat Velvet blanket, I think. Baby velvet, something like that. And she is knitting a blanket, and she's doing great. Here it is. And I think I talked a little bit about how this yarn works and how there's no twist or anything, so it's not a very stretchy yarn. And it is so flippin' soft. I'm going to try really hard not to steal this from her, but it's so soft. I don't want to knit with it, but it's so soft. That is all there is for whips. Coming up next, I am going to be working on the Vivid again, that blanket I was working on the squares. My wrists have been bothering me, so I've been trying to take it easy on my wrists, but I'm feeling a lot better now, so that will be coming. Along with that, Kristen's cabled sweater that I started over the winter. I want to get that done before fall. Sadie has asked me for a dress, so what Sadie asked for, Sadie gets. And I would like to knit a couple things for the baby. Namely, I want to knit a Clara dress, and I want to knit a sweater called the Wee Lysol. I gotta get on that though, because Sophie's getting big. She's a month old, and she's almost in 6-month clothes, so I gotta get on it. And the other thing I want to knit is I want to knit 2 hats, one for Sadie, one for Sophie, each with their name on it. I did it for Sadie when she was a baby. I did it for Seth when he was first born. And I want to do it for both of them now, because Sadie's hat, I'm sure, is long gone. So, yeah. I think the last thing I have to show you is my NIC Crate. And this month, I think this was June. And the theme was Getaway. I have changed the color that I want, because this is a bit bright for me, but I'll use it for something. The freebie this month was some straight pens, and the yarn was Audine Wools by NIC Crate Interlock. It is a 34% cotton, 35% linen, 19% lyocell, and 11% nylon. 351 yards, 100 grams, and we got 2 of them. This color is bright. Yeah, it's almost as bright as you can see it. I mean, right there it looks a little blown out, but it's bright, guys. I would call this neon. It's maybe a shade. It looks neon on the screen. I would say this is a shade lighter than neon. It is bright. More of like a really, really vibrant pumpkin. And I think this is a sport. It doesn't say on here. Let's see if it says on here. I'm pretty sure when I looked at the preview online it was a sport, but I'm not seeing on here what it is. And it doesn't give, on the tag it doesn't give a needle suggestion. So I may be wrong, but I believe this is a sport. It's very soft. It's a very nice yarn. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it because it's so orange. But I have a lot of people that I knit for that are orange lovers. In fact, this might be good for baby knitting because of the color. So that's that. Down below I still have the link. If you want to get a $5 NIC Crate to try it out, feel free. If you don't, that's totally fine too. That is all I have for today. So 2 things to remember. Do you want an RV tour? And what do you suggest I name my shawl? Put those down below and someone will get my shawl pattern for free. I think I'm going to get going. Kristen could be back anytime, so probably be a good time to wrap this up because when she walks in, everything's going to go crazy because she has all the dogs with them. For all you Dewey lovers, here's the Dewsters. You probably heard them barking next to me. Say hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm an equal opportunity lover of humans. That is all we have for this time. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. I know I'm planning on it. It's supposed to be really rainy, but that's not going to stop me. I'm just going to sit down and craft and do all my other stuff. I don't really sit. I kind of up and down, up and down, up and down. But until next time, I will talk to you real soon. All right? Bye-bye.